bar area here. This is what went into our drink, our Tuscan pear hustle.
I feel like each event we've done, more and more people are attending, which was ultimately the goal. So we're doing something right.
Today they were waiting in line. Like literally it was 3:45. The event started at 4 and we look out, we're like, there's like 8 people waiting in line. Ready?
So I have been with the company for 6.5 weeks, 6 weeks and 3 days. And
no one's counting.
And it's been 6 weeks and 3 days. I mean, this is a beast of a property. It's beautiful and it needed stuff to be done, and we got together and did it.
Tina and her group throw amazing events, so I knew it would be a nice time. Some strong drinks in a cup.
All the drinks have some sort of little area where you have to find the feature, take a picture by it, and I think Jenna said tag Caul group, and then you're entered for a $500 Umstead gift card.
Usually you go to broker opens, you talk to agents. The home isn't really the focal point. You talk to the other agents, but the scavenger hunt makes you go into every part of the home just so, look, you can win $500 and you get to see everything in the home.
It's the fine details. Like today you put a little sprig of, what was that, basil?
I used a miniature clothespin to put a piece of mint on the edge of the glass, which when I came up with that idea, I thought, how is this going to go when it comes time for execution? Am I going to regret that I made this call? And I did, but it was adorable.
But it looks adorable,
yeah, it was
right?
adorable.
We're not about the function, we're about how it looks, right?
They're phenomenal. They're amazing. They're so welcoming, so warm. It feels more like a party, more like a, not like a networking event. It feels more like you feel good, you feel at home, you're welcomed.
It is my listing technically. I still have to kind of pinch myself. It's 18 months in the making. I met with them 18 months ago. We've sold a couple of homes in this neighborhood and they called about it, and I picked up the phone, had a conversation, called Tina immediately and said, hey Tina, we have a listing appointment based on the listing that we have. And she's like, go for it. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? She's like, you got this, girl. I'm like, okay.
To rebuild this house would probably be about $6 or $7 million.
So 18 months and 4 appointments later, we are now listing this home, and I pinch myself, like I said, it's crazy.
Thank you. It is. It's my midlife crisis car. We woke up, we were jolted out of bed because the fire alarm went off, and Kevin's like, oh my God, the house is burning down. We race upstairs, make sure Michael's good, nothing's happening. And then he looks out the front door, he goes, honey, where's your car? I said, I don't know, it should be in the driveway. He goes, it's gone. So we looked like down the street, maybe we parked it somewhere else. Nope, gone. So as we were, just going on about the day, Kevin says, we should just go to the Porsche dealership and check out the electric car that you wanted just to see. I was like, yeah, we should just go see. And then that pretty baby happened to be there, and so we bought it. We did find the other car, so the cops found it 2 days later. They had ripped out the ceiling, the rear view mirror, and but we recovered it with no scratches on it other than that, so we're gonna pay a few grand. Well, the insurance company will pay a few grand. We'll fix it up. I'll probably just keep that for my late car. And then you're gonna hit the brake, so you're on the brake, and then hit this down, so you're going into drive. And now you just hit the gas and just don't crash it. Bye. Like the community, right? And so when you look in that room and you go, oh, all these people, they're coming to an event. It's hard because we have to be the ones in charge of leading the events, and we're busy in our careers. But if you're not leading them, who's going to follow you? Nobody. And today we're going to talk about leverage, and we're going to talk about high producers like you all that need to really spin off into a leveraged life, because you know how to make money, but you got to figure out how to buy back your time to make more money when you buy back your time. When I introduce you, what accolades do you want me to say about you? Here, come on this side. I don't know. What do you want me to say about you? She cries herself to sleep every night. No, we're gonna keep it humble. Keep it humble. Keep you restrained. Thank you. I love that. If you just took 20% of what he said, right, that would be amazing. Now I'm gonna have to shrink the mic because I'm really short. Let's see. Do I even need to use this? Everybody loves to talk about wealth building. So if you call all your clients, I bet you'll have one literally today that would say, yeah, I wanna think about that. I wanna think about investments. So anyway, that was my little tip. So today I'm gonna actually talk about the blueprint to scaling your business. So from individual agent to team leader to operator was my trajectory. We were dedicating all of our life to servicing these people and giving up our life in the meantime. So looking back, I'm 100% certain that I lost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars because I wasn't willing to spend the money that I was making on hiring the right people to help me scale, to actually build a company. What we were doing is we were exchanging time for money. And so the problem with that is for every single one of you, I don't care if it's a 30 deal a year producer, 50, 100, 150. I have a friend that sold 180 homes herself personally with 2 assistants. Talk about no life. I mean, she had no kids, so she really, her babies were those people. But there's a ceiling. I can't do anymore, right? I got to a certain ceiling and I just had to say, I give up, we've got to find a better way. This is a pain point in the industry. This is not just I was the only one in pain. This is the industry. And the problem is with overachievers, which many of us are, right? We come in, and if anyone's done their Enneagram, if you're a 3-2, you're an overachiever and you're a helper, right? So we love to help people, but the problem is the money tastes so good that we just keep going and going and going, and we forget to live life in the interim. And we never build a business. We just are a high-paid employee of our business. And I was a high-paid $1 million earner of my business. So we're part-time leaders, and the secret to the success for me was getting the right people on the bus at the right time because I couldn't do it all. I finally couldn't do it all. If you're selling 50 homes a year, you can hire a transaction coordinator, can't you, right? A transaction coordinator costs you $400 a transaction times 50 deals is $19,700 and something dollars. It's right under 20 grand. My assistant first hire cost me 50 grand. So do the math, right? Unless you're selling 100 homes a year, you don't need somebody in-house pulling a salary from you. And I think the hardest part is we don't want a salaried employee. It's very scary to hire somebody and then be liable for their future, right? My husband was freaked out over that. Why do we need to hire somebody? Let's just keep it small. How much money do we need, really? Well, those were the conversations at night in bed. And I would say we need a lot more because we're not going to be poor. So why? And here's my why. An ISA is the key to running a profitable business because they're the growth cycle of your business. Everybody should have a lot of leads. You're not calling them 7 to 10 times. You're not texting them. You're not sending them video messages. You are leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table because you don't have the most important person in the business, which is that prospector that's going to build your business every single day, right? When you're out working, they're building. And what will happen is as you start seeing that human is in there really being their director of first impressions and they're calling these leads and landing these appointments for you, because your job is to go out and land appointments and get contracts signed, right? That's our job. Eventually, what will happen is you're gonna have too many appointments and you're not gonna be able to service them. Now, who's the next hire? A buyer's agent. Now you bring in partners because you have something to feed them, right? You can give them deals. You can give them appointments. You can share in the business. You can give up your buyers like I did. I had 50 of the 130, 55 buyers a year were my buyer business. The rest was listings. So when my 2 agents came to join me, I was like, here's my buyers. They're all for you. What did that buy me back? My time, my weekends, and I didn't have to leave the house anymore except to go on a listing appointment. And I could service that listing at my house or at the beach or wherever. So I got my time back. So that's what I would encourage you to just think about is how do you live a fully leveraged life? How do you invite people into your business and help them grow? And the more people that you help grow, abundance mindset, right? We are sharing all our secrets now. I still don't compete very much with you, and we're right there. We are literally, she gives me all her marketing secrets, and it doesn't matter. So we're still living that beautiful, leveraged, collaborative environment. So I hope that's helped you guys. That's all I got today. Yay. Yay.